wanted to win a Final Four national championship for their senior class.
I can remember being obliterated by it. My heart was totally broken because here I was staring at maybe the most talented team we had ever had, maybe one of the most talented teams of all time. But also, it was the third time. There was a lot of pressure. That was kind of the year that everyone thought we were going to do it. We thought we were going to do it. We had the players, we had the team, we had the coaches.
It was definitely devastating, the third time, especially with that group of seniors who led us so far, and then, just not being able to bring it home for them was tough.
I think the hardest part was just knowing how close we were, and we could feel it, and the coaches could feel it, and putting all that hard work in each year and then falling short. I think heartbreak is the only true way to describe it.
The Eagles lost a number of key players with the graduating class of 2019, leaving a large gap in their starting lineup. However, they soon added two top transfers to their roster, goalkeeper Rachel Hall from Oregon and attacker Charlotte North from Duke.
When we saw Charlotte in the transfer portal, it was like an unbelievable moment. We were just like, we have to do every single thing it takes to get her to come to Boston College.
It was a good day seeing her in the portal. We had a great conversation. She was bright, she was humble, she was excited, and I just said, this kid's such a winner.
The way she talked about her program, her players, how much she loves BC, it was so inspiring and contagious, and I knew I wanted to play for a coach like her. They were just so welcoming, and you could tell that, like, everybody on the team, this is their family.
Rachel, her personality just draws you in. She's so funny, she's so loose, she's so athletic, and you fall in love with her as soon as you talk to her. So I remember feeling the same way with Rachel, and I just knew that she would be an incredible addition.
With new faces on the roster, the Eagles struggled early in 2020 with an upset loss to UMass in the season opener, followed by ranked losses to USC and Notre Dame.
The first few games kind of showed that. We were still finding who we are. We were such a young team. We had new players like Charlotte and Rachel come in, and they were such a big part of it. But we were just still trying to get to know everyone, and the seniors were trying to get a little bit more leadership under their feet.
The Eagles clicked in a 20-10 win over Hofstra in what would be their last game before the season was canceled due to the pandemic.
Just moments ago, the SEC, the Big Ten, and the AAC have all announced that their conference tournaments have been canceled.
Hearing from our athletic director that the season was over and having to face the seniors, it was just like, it was another complete heartbreak. And it just felt so unfair for those seniors because that was, the fourth heartbreak they'd have to deal with.
There was a lot of emotion that week that our season was shut down, and I sort of just let myself feel those emotions, when I packed up everything in my room and had to say bye to all the girls in the team, all my friends at school. And as time went on, and had a lot of conversations with the coaches about my plan to come back, and I think I always knew deep down that I wasn't going to be able to finish on that note. And having so many people reach out to me and apologize for the season being cut short, just it was a true testament to how close this program truly is, and it wasn't something I wanted to let go.
With a large incoming freshman class and a delayed fall schedule, the Eagles were ready to get back to work and prepare for the 2021 season.
We had a good year of growing and learning about each other and learning about our team in 2020, and I think that translated over to the fall.
I think it was just really about getting to work. We knew we had a young team. We knew that we had to get a lot of these freshmen and sophomores ready to compete at the highest level and the biggest stage in the ACC.
Yeah, it was different. We lost a lot of the fall, but every day we did have, it just made it that much more important to really give everything and get better, because we didn't know, if we were going to have the next day or not.
Lacrosse was the only time where life kind of felt normal, and it wasn't just normal, it was exciting, it was fun, and I haven't had that in a year.
The Eagles entered the preseason ranked 17th by U.S. Lacrosse Magazine, so they had a lot to prove in their first game back versus UAlbany.
I said it from day one of preseason. I knew there was always something special about this team, and I think that very first game, we just sort of came out with so much energy and so much teamwork. So that was honestly the moment where I knew that we were going to be able to do something great.
That game was just a breakout moment for everyone to just let loose, have fun, and just like remember why we do this and why we love the sport and why we sacrifice all the things that we do and the coaches sacrifice all the things that they do.
You could just feel the energy. Everyone was so excited just to be back on that field and be back together.
Following a season-opening win over UAlbany, the Eagles defeated number 15 USC and number 22 UMass, avenging tough losses from the 2020 season.
And a great start coming back this year from a rebuilding campaign in the shortened 2020 season. Already a couple of dominant victories. This is their third consecutive home game.
They then traveled to Chapel Hill to take on number 1 UNC for their first ACC game of the season.
What a fun start to this game, really as advertised. Two great programs, a lot of history recently against each other. And the Tar Heels have started the second half on a 4-0 run.
Another midfielder goal for Carolina.
Ortega's got 6 today.
Carolina certainly has stepped up and proven that they're the #1 team in the nation right now.
As much as the loss hurt and you never want to lose to North Carolina, it was an amazing learning experience for us.
I remember we had a film assignment labeled 21 because they scored 21 goals on us. And I think that just hit so hard and so different that like that was early in the season and I still remember that and I still hold that so like close to my heart. I mean, that was a long film assignment too, so like we couldn't forget it even if we wanted to.
I think sometimes that can be a lot, and when a team scores 21 goals, it's like, okay, we need to refocus and we need to kind of learn from what our mistakes are.
I think they decided it was then that we have to learn how to bounce back and that things aren't always going to be easy. And if we want to be able to beat them, you know, we've got to learn from this and be better, and they did.
After the loss to North Carolina, BC bounced back with a 9-game winning streak, 7 of which were against ranked ACC opponents.
I remember the UVA game that we played a couple weeks after North Carolina, and we had just been focusing on, being the team that we want to be, playing so well off of each other and having so much fun with it, and I think it almost looked like effortless just because everyone was playing so well together and having so much fun, and it obviously helped us win over a really good UVA team.
The lights are on at Alumni Stadium, and for the first time this season, Alumni hosts women's lacrosse. Here's a good look in front. Belle Smith finds the back of the net. Here's another cut in and an easy finish. It was Courtney Weeks. North wraps around. She shoots and she scores! Charlotte North wins it for the Eagles.
Friday was such a fun ball game between these teams, and now we get to run it back.
How about Jen Medjid? She's got a half dozen goals here in the first half. This is Medjid scoring again.
9 goals for Jen Medjid. She came to play.
Put a bow on this performance by Boston College. As impressive as it gets against the top 15 opponent.
Duke, the red bandana game, that's a pretty good rivalry, and I think that was just a really cool moment for the whole team and Charlotte in particular to be able to play Duke and beat them.
Made it another game, but everybody knew that when you peeled back some of those layers, there was a lot more to it. So the girls worked extra hard that week to have Charlotte's back.
She is certainly the biggest name in lacrosse right now.
She's just a very creative and intelligent and instinctive player, and it's so fun to watch her because she's always getting better. She's always evolving her game. She was such a great player at Duke, and now she's this kind of monumental staple player with us.
For Boston College, one of the best players in the entire country. She proves it every single day. Charlotte North is going to be a handful today for Virginia Tech. There's the creativity from Charlotte North to give her any space, and she'll make a play. Charlotte North nets goal number 10. That is a new single-game record. The human highlight reel that's been Charlotte North.
People kind of slept on our team coming into this season. I think, we just wanted to prove people wrong throughout the year because, Boston College Women's Lacrosse is a powerhouse program and with powerhouse coaches and talent from top to bottom. So we definitely played with a chip on our shoulder.
BC's impressive play steadily improved their national ranking, placing 5th in the polls as they welcome number 4 Notre Dame to Alumni Stadium for a 2-game weekend series.
Being in the ACC, we're playing the best teams, not just, every once in a while, but 2-3 weekends in a row when we were playing them on
Friday and then on a Sunday. So, back to back is even harder. And I think overall, just that play, I think we always got better. Last year, we played them in a close game, but ultimately they beat us. And then just any year to beat a team like Notre Dame, it's really powerful. So I think to do that twice in one weekend is just really a statement.
In the last weekend of the regular season, the Eagles traveled to Syracuse, New York, to take on the number 3 Orange for another 2-game weekend.
This is Herbeck. Second Herbeck now is going to have 4 assists tonight. Good passing in for another shot at a score. North. Trouble. Oh, how does he put that through? And BC comes back to tie it with Courtney Weeks. It's a goal here from Jen Mitchell. She shoots on the save. What a win for BC here tonight. 14-13.
Syracuse won the regular season finale 2 days later, placing BC as the 3 seed heading into the ACC Championship. A quarterfinal win over Virginia sent the Eagles to the semifinal to take on the Orange for the 3rd time in just 9 days.
Here's North getting free from the face guard early. Shoots and scores!
Just 2 quick goals for the Syracuse team.
The Orange on a 4-0 run, and they're doubling up BC 12-6. BC trying to counter, and they do. Oh my! What a play by the freshman, ripped it home. Only 5 minutes ago, this game was 13-7. The Orange looked comfortable, and BC has erased that 6-goal lead.
This is unbelievable. They're storming back.
Charlotte North does it again! Great feed inside Tyrell. Snuck it by! Belle Smith, right on the doorstep. Her 5th of the afternoon. Has a step and uses it! And that one fires the Orange in front.
We started off a little more slow, and I think it was hard to kind of dig ourselves out of that hole once we started bouncing back.
Really, Syracuse was just way better than us that day. And I think it was all part of the process. So we took what we needed to take from that loss and, really tried to get better. I mean, the message all year was like, let's just get a little bit better. And if this Syracuse loss exposes new weaknesses, let's look at it. Let's stare at it. Let's put it under a microscope and get to work and figure out how to become better because of the loss.
Credit to both teams, and hopefully we see a rematch. We'd love to see them down the line in the NCAAs. This was awesome.
BC entered the NCAA tournament as the number 4 seed, hosting Fairfield and Temple in the first 2 rounds. Charlotte North set a new program record for goals in the NCAA tournament game with 8 versus Temple. Additionally, Belle Smith broke the BC freshman record for points in a season, while Kara Urbank became the 11th Eagle to reach the 200-point mark. In the Elite 8, BC dominated number 5 Notre Dame 21-10 to advance to their 4th straight Final Four.
I think after beating Notre Dame, it was just kind of surreal just taking a step back and realizing that we're going back there again.
Everything felt different. The whole vibe was different, and everything just felt really, really, really casual. And I think it played a big role in it, because I think in years past there was beginning to be this, enormous pressure on all of the girls and the coaches to finally do it. And for some reason, everything was very different this past year.
We just made it about lacrosse, like all of the hype and all the media, sure, it's exciting, but it's 60 minutes to play lacrosse. And, on Friday our job was to beat UNC.
We knew it was going to be a very intense game. It always is with them. They were considered one of the best teams ever for women's lacrosse.
We wanted to get another shot at them because we didn't feel like we gave our best to them early in the season. And we were a much different team come tournament time, so we were the underdog, and we wanted to prove people wrong again.
I mean, I know for me, especially as a freshman, we got to UNC the first time we played them, and I was like this. Before we even played them, I was already scared, and I think that's how every team felt about them this year, just because they're UNC, and they do have incredible players, and they're so stacked. And I think by the end of season, we gained more confidence, and we walked into that game like, okay, they're UNC, we're Boston College.
These
these two teams met in the regular season. A lopsided matchup that North Carolina won 21-9, but that was in early March. This is May. Anything is possible. And Boston College opens the scoring. Caitlin Mossman into attack mode. Gets the hands free. The freshman sensation, Belle Smith, goes low. It's a goal. Jen Medjid fires Boston College in front 5-4.
It was crazy. I've never actually played in front of that big of a crowd before, so just being able to score those goals and then just feel the energy, it was like, I felt like I was in a dream. It was unreal.
We made it a battle of the midfielders, and I would take our midfielders over anybody any day. We have depth, we have intelligence, but really it was about finding a way to stop all 7 of their threats, and it took all 7 defenders plus Rachel. We knew Rachel was going to have her best game, and it just so happened that she did. She had the best game of the year.
2 minutes to go. Top-seeded Tar Heels down 2. What a save again! Rachel Hall continues to deliver in between the pipes.
All throughout my career, it's kind of been like big stage. I kind of have another gear to go to. And a big thing that really drove me in that game was like, I want to play 2 more days with my best friends. And I think everybody felt that way.
Boston College has done it! 4 straight championship appearances for the Eagles. And they do it by beating undefeated North Carolina.
Let's go, you guys! Going back to the hotel, we're so hyped, obviously. And I remember Acacia stands up. We're in the ballroom at dinner, stands up, and she's like, you know what, like, this is great, we beat UNC, but who cares that we beat UNC if we don't beat Syracuse? Who cares? It doesn't matter. People will forget. And she's like, I've done this before. These people, we've been here, the upperclassmen have been there. And she was like, we will not make that mistake again. Humble and hungry. That was a huge thing Acacia said to us. Like, Syracuse was confident going into that game, but I feel like it wasn't humble and hungry. It was just confidence and excitement. And I feel like going into a Final Four, Acacia learned, and she always told us this, the best team isn't always going to win. It's the team that plays the best that day. And she was explaining to us that they had the best team every single year, yet they didn't win. And it's just a matter of who plays the best that day with 60 minutes.
Looking back on our identity as a team, and, you know, we were ranked 17th coming into this season, and we sort of stepped out on the field and just, we were playing with a huge chip on our shoulder because I don't think anybody truly thought that we were going to be one of those teams in the Final Four, nor there for the national championship. So I really think it was that underdog mentality that sort of just pulled us through that game.
For one program, those long-awaited dreams will turn into reality today. Syracuse and Boston College set to meet for a 4th and final time.
You want to step off the chain as national champions? You have to give everything you have.
You know, it's the biggest stage in women's lacrosse. It's the biggest stage in lacrosse, Final Four weekend, national championship. Adrenaline is pumping through your veins. You have 60 minutes to let it all out there. And I think when we have fun together, we play our best. So we're loose and we're excited. We're going to come out on top.
Using that championship experience, Kara Herbank, 3 feet inside. Jen Medjid delivers. Cockrell one-on-one with Hall. The junior makes the save. Beautiful passing, and it leads to a goal again.
They all played their role perfectly. Beating the zone, you know, which Kayla is very smart about. Kayla can figure out a zone in a heartbeat and know exactly how to adjust things. And I'm just proud of them because the unit was so cohesive.
Herbank stays with it, sends it to North. It's a first-half hat-trick. Mossman the bouncer, and it stings the top corner. How much fun is this?
This is what we expected. What an amazing national championship game. Back and forth.
Going to win. Believe it. Believe it.
What is going to separate these two teams? We've still got 30 minutes to go in regulation.
In the game, we never changed the game plan. I think it really came down to they were ready to win. They had something within them that they weren't going to lose.
Swiped away. Sydney Scales making a huge play to start the second half.
My teammates, when I made a good play or when they made a good play, everyone has each other's backs, congratulating each other, and that really even amps you up even more to want to go make another good play.
We all were just working on a string and just communicating, trusting.
That defense, they're just so unselfish and so aggressive and they're so smart. All of them. And the middies. plus Rachel, it was just the perfect answer.
The opening 10 minutes of the second half, the Eagles have dominated it.
Unbelievable, scoring goal after goal.
Syracuse capitalized. No, take it away. Led it the whole way, Ali Schleicher. Great save, Rachel Hall. Spins, denied.
You can hear it in the stadium. The fans are loving it.
North, you know it's coming. You still can't stop it. Nobody has scored more goals in a single season than Charlotte North.
Everybody just played so calm, confidently, and just with a lot of heart. And I think during the game, after a timeout, there was 6 minutes left, and we were up by a little bit, but anything can happen in 6 minutes. And I think we came out of that so strong and so hot, and just we didn't want to lose at that time.
I kept saying on the sideline, like, Kara, be composed, be calm, like, relax.
When we were up by 5 with about 2 minutes left, we helped each other, we leaned on each other in the final minutes to stay locked in and focused.
After 3 years of falling short in this title game, Boston College has finally done it. For the first time in program history, the Eagles are national champions.
I can say that I've dreamt of that moment and have waited for that moment. I've drawn that moment out in my head 1,000 times, pictured what it would feel like, pictured what it would look like, and it was kind of slow motion. I wanted to hug everybody. I was trying to not totally cry. I'm trying totally not to cry right now. It was the most amazing moment ever.
I broke down into tears. You know, you're surrounded by your family, your best friends, the best coaching staff in the country, and you achieved what every girl who plays lacrosse hopes to achieve one day. And 4 years later, we finally did it, and it was the hard work of all those years before.
I looked at Kara, and as soon as I looked at her, we just both started sobbing. Just going around and embracing everybody is just like so much enjoyment, so much excitement, and just like a little bit of relief, honestly.
It's indescribable to see the look on Acacia's face when the whistle blew, and to see when Kara and Jill brought the trophy over. For people like that who have worked so hard for so long, this is what it's all about, and that moment was so special. I'll never forget it, and celebrating with my team was just the best feeling in the world.
Being able to succeed in your goal, like, I was just so overwhelmed with just gratitude.
You know, it's been a tough year for everyone. And, you know, like, I lost my mom. And, you know, Kenzie and Addie lost their grandmother. And, you know, I know a lot of people had a lot of losses throughout this whole COVID. And at that final moment, you're taking it in because everyone that's put so much into this program, it is about family.
I walked over the sideline, I was hysterical crying. I was probably crying for like 2 hours because we've been so close so many times. So it was so humbling. And the girls, when they brought over the trophy, I'm like, no, this is yours. Like, you guys earned it. And it was just so incredible to see how much they care about the alumni and seeing where their team came from.
It's a really special thing to have a group of girls who want to just hand off the trophy to other people and make sure that there's ownership everywhere out there with alums, with their families, because finally, after all of this, we are all national champions.
We pride ourselves on being a family at BC, and it took inches from everybody, you know, traveling near and far, supporting us day in and day out.
You can build something if you have the right people supporting you and the right resources to get you to this point. I think this team has shown that and has been able to get to that point because of all the backing we've had through our coaching, through the department, just everyone around that's supporting us.
Hearing so many people, oh, I'm rooting for BC, you know, that's my team, you know, realizing that, like, people are now doing that with a women's college lacrosse team is, like, it's crazy, and I don't even think we realize the magnitude of it.
You know, I'm just happy because it is the greatest group of girls to be inspiring young little boys and young little girls to play lacrosse, to want to be the best.
I think Acacia always says dream big, and no dream is too big, so, you know, anybody can get to this moment if you work hard and just have a lot of heart and a lot of fun with it. Playing for that little girl who picked up a stick randomly in 3rd grade and then now winning a national championship is just amazing.
It's such a testament to the culture that has been built here by the alumni, by Acacia, by the coaches. That's why I came to BC, to dream big.
All this credit goes to Acacia because she takes people and she makes you believe. Like, she believes in you so much that, like, you have no other excuse than to believe in yourself too.
I want our girls to be brave enough here at Boston College, but also in life, to pursue the best version of what they want to do. Go for it. Do it. And don't be afraid if you fall short. Because we did. We fell flat on our face in front of the world 3 years in a row. We got back up on our feet, we picked up the pieces, and we did it the 4th year.
Now that we know we're capable of it and we know we can do it, that's the standard going forward every year is for us to get back here and win a national championship.
Everyone's like, oh, what a great end to like your season, but I think it's also just the beginning of a big reign for Boston College.
Tewaaraton Trophy winner from Boston College, Charlotte North.